Welcome back to another episode of Tides of Change. Each video takes a dozen hours to bring to life, so it would really help the channel if you could leave a like. And remember, members get early access to the next episode. Now then, back to the story. Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back. Last week, you guys played a little too well. You won every single game at this birthday celebration. The Sonwu's pride has been somewhat hurt, and it's not entirely your fault because you guys wanted to. It was a contest, right? If you had held back, it would have been an insult. So you guys played your heart out. However, Sonwu is a little bit immature, especially when it comes to games of his choosing. So after Gina completed the final challenge, Jing Kon himself jumps off of his throne and he calls up all four of you to join the front. He states, as he stated last time, that the final contest shall now begin and you'll be fighting him. How do you guys respond?
Huh? Fight you?
Well, you know, I'm kind of disappointed in my people, so I just want to show them how it's done. As he looks at the team of four, who every single one of them was defeated by you guys. So we're going to have a friendly bout. The first one to push me out of this ring wins. If I knock all of you out, I win. He snaps his fingers and a giant ring of fire illuminates around the five of you, including him. So it's a huge space. You have about 10 meters in diameter, so about 30 feet from the center of the circle. And in the center of the circle is the same climbing pole that Solaris' contest had. It's that same empty arena. You can see that the components of the maze are still on the battlefield. Jing Kon himself sweeps them all away using his staff. So he elongates and he essentially knocks all of the maze components out of the way, kicking up a bit of a dust storm, but you don't get the sense that the fight has started yet. However, he cleans the area. And you also notice that the fourth guy who lost his Spira is sent flying along with the rest of the junk. Like, woo! So then, how are we going to do this? Are you going to attack me all at once? Are we going to go one at a time? He clicks his neck back and forth a little bit, and he's holding his staff. You notice that he's not initiating the fight, but he's kind of waiting to see how you guys are going to respond to this. Do you want to attack him immediately, or do you want to see if you can try and like strategize amongst each other? Because he's watching you. There's a fire burning around all of you, but it's just a ring of fire.
Ooh. Could I do something with that fire?
Yes, you can. Also, Hyacinth is, oh my God, we're gonna die! We're gonna die! Staying in character for her. So you've got a panicking Fae.
Spira canters over to the others because I feel like she's not getting close to them. Because she's still sitting on her primal soul.
Oh, right. Yes, you've got your...
Oh, yes, you have one.
Yes, you have one. One.
One big one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should strategize.
Yes, definitely.
I mean...
No, I don't think any of us can go one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
Oh, are we team huddling now? Says Hyacinth. She lifts up her arms. Are we team huddling?
Are you guys... Do you guys know anything about fighting? Because all I've been fighting is animals.
Well, I never fought a Monkey King before, so... Yeah.
I have experience in battles, but with a Monkey King?
Yeah, exactly.
That could... I'm not sure if I can...
And he's the paralysis touch as well, so I don't really want to get into close combat.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Nyx and Solaris, give me an intelligence roll to remember what the old monkey told you before.
Intelligence? Let me see. I don't have any, so it's just a plain one. Oh my God!
20.
Not 20!
Okay, well, there goes my plans.
I'm only 9.
Well then, a light bulb flicks on in your head.
Once in my lifetime.
That's just great. That's just absolutely great. Just give me a second. You remember Lok Tao telling you about all the abilities of the Sonwu and the Kongs. The Sonwu have the paralysis touch.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, there is skin contact between a Sonwu and their target. They can use their spirits to disrupt the flow of spirits within the body of the other user. This temporary disruption of spirits will cause the person to be paralyzed. However, resistance is highly dependent on the differences of the spiritual conductivity and strength of the two users. So a low-level Sonwu trying to paralyze a high-level individual is not likely to work for very long. However, if it's the other way around, you might be paralyzed for a long time. They also have stone skin. So a Sonwu can push all of the spirits in their body to lock together temporarily on the layer of their skin, causing it to turn into stone, to look and feel as hard as stone. It's extremely exhausting, but after repeated use can cause the skin to fracture and split, which can result in blood loss. Then the last of the abilities is the Sage's Secret, which is essentially their ability to shrink and grow objects based on their skill in this ability. It's something that takes a lot of training to master. You can assume that the Monkey King himself has mastered said ability. It doesn't affect the weight, but it certainly does affect the size. However, because you rolled a nat 20, I'm also going to give you this. The fact that he created a ring of fire with a snap of his fingers means that he probably has the same spellcast system as Key with the casting and being able to use it through a physical component, through either his fingers snapping or the sound is how he controlled the fire.
I thought so.
But I still don't have any idea how we can defeat him. Can Hyacinth make an illusion of the fire ring? Because if we can trap him inside my ink cloud for a while and just create an illusionary wall of fire and make the Monkey King think that he's safe inside that fire ring, when in reality we make him move outside.
I can try, guys. Hyacinth says, I can try.
That.
I also have my resonance as well, so I can sit on your shoulder where it's preferably safe.
Yes. You can just sit on my shoulder as usual.
I think also the aura kind of protection around the body should be really important to make sure that it doesn't touch us.
Yeah. Maybe if we use Gina's summon as a decoy and I cast my ink, and then while he's in the darkness,
Shall I do something with the actual ring of fire?
You can do that too.
Since we're making the illusionary one.
The rules did state that if he falls out of the ring of fire, then he loses. So you got some options to play with there with the wording of that.
So he loses even if he steps outside of the fire in his own free will.
If he's outside of the ring of fire, it counts as his loss. So you could try to move the ring of fire itself as well.
Oh. Okay, that's a good plan.
You guys ready?
Do you have any other?
Just to double check, you want my summon to sort of herd him outside?
No, just a decoy. I mean, get his attention.
So basically do a feint attack. Okay.
I'm not scared at all.
He clicks his neck once again and he's like, ha, 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 you're done planning now? I'm getting a little bored here on my sleep. Look at the crowd. A lot of the Sonwu who were excited when the Monkey King got up started to be distracted by various things. Their attention span is not that great. Yeah, they were starting to get a little bit tired with all that planning you guys were doing over there. The Monkey King is like, oh, so then you want to start or me? As he actually starts to, you get like a sinister feeling from that. Essentially saying, the reading between the lines is attack now or I will be the one to initiate. So I'll let you guys do your initiative roll.
Oh. Okay, that's good.
It's perfect.
The order of combat is going to be Spira, Solaris.
Worked out.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Spira, Solaris, then the Monkey King.
It works out like how we want.
Yeah.
Spira, you are up first.
And I do both the construct or primal soul and me.
Yes, that we'll do them at the same time. So you can choose which one you want to go first.
So Spira is just gonna take to the sky, just spread her wings, kind of try and be a bit dramatic.
Yep, go for it.
And I'm gonna take to the sky, kind of to sort of get a bird-eye view of the situation.
As you do this, he watches you as you goes up and he goes, oh, as he sees you flying up. Just like, oh. more. As he's like, that's really high.
Trying to amuse the monkeys a bit. And the primal soul is just gonna flare her wings as well, and then sight them into herself and just gonna barrel straight forward to the Monkey King with an activated aura.
On the primal soul, right?
On the primal soul. And gonna try and do like a feint attack, but just as if it's just gonna barrel straight forward.
Okay, so then we'll just use your base attributes for now. So use your strength and dexterity and add that to it as an attack roll. Okay, nice. Your summon crashes into him. He hasn't even moved yet because he's still watching you up there. Your summon rams into his chest armor immediately. However, he only moves back a few centimeters. He then looks down and goes, oh yeah. It didn't really do much.
I think it would, to be fair.
It got his attention.
Yeah, he's definitely looking at it. He's like, oh!
It must have been the wind.
Nothing to see here.
Solaris, you're up now.
Yeah, I think I will use my Ink of Darkness.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that Hyacinth is on your shoulder as well.
Yes.
Okay, it's you, Monkey King, and then Hyacinth.
So I'm throwing a vial of my ink towards the Monkey King.
So for that we'll make it a dex and strength throw. So we'll treat it as an attack, but you're attacking the ground at his feet essentially. So, or him, it doesn't really matter. You realize now that he's extremely cocky because he didn't even move out of the way for Spirit Summon.
Okay.
Really?
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 You can trust me to fuck up in the most vital time.
Wow.
Okay. Maybe next turn, guys.
We're just
Well,
Oh my
very
god.
nervous at the moment.
Yeah. So nervous that I can't even throw a vial.
as you're about to lob your Ink of Darkness, you sneeze, dropping the vial at your feet. It explodes and erupts, covering both you, Hyacinth, and Nyx in a cloud of pitch black.
Thanks. It's okay. You're just a fish out of water. This happens.
You hear from a distance, he goes, ho, 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 trying to block my line of sight, are you? You just see Spira up above just be like, oh my goodness. However, I have to do something now. Because you guys are in the Ink of Darkness, I need to drag the two of you out of the room so only Spira can see what's about to happen because it's the Monkey King's turn.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, I kicked them into the other room. Right. So he's like, my turn then. As he reaches up and he plucks out a few of his hairs and he looks at you and he's like, I was rather surprised to see somebody using my own spells. And he throws out the hairs and all of them, using summoning magic, transform into copies of himself. He creates one for each of you. How do you respond to this, Spira? Because there are now 5 Jing Kongs on the battlefield.
Guys, watch up. Look out.
3 of the clones rush straight into the Ink of Darkness, and one of them leaps up at you. Give me a dodge roll. So
Dexterity plus acrobatics, right?
yes. So these are clones, so they're not as strong as the original. You managed to dodge the first one as he's falling back down, and the clone even looks at you and is like, I'll get you next time, as he's falling back down. Okay, let's drag the other 2 in here. Welcome back. We dodged blindly. Good job. Give me those dodge rolls.
The draws should add what? Dexterity?
Dexterity and acrobatics, yep.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Nice dodge.
Oh my god.
Nice crit.
Oh. So dexterity and dexterity for me is just dexterity.
I had a feeling.
Well,
Oh my goodness. Why are the rolls so bad for me today? Well, this is going to be dramatic. Okay. So then, for the 2 of you caught in for the 2 of you caught in the Ink of Darkness. Oh yeah, I need to roll for Hyacinth as well. Just a second.
but she's on my shoulder.
Yes, you'll see why though.
Oh.
In the ink of darkness, Nyx barely dodges a monkey's paw coming straight at them. However,
Barely.
several more fly straight at Solaris and Hyacinth. Nyx, while dodging, manages to do a handstand and with your feet up in the air, kicks the other hands away. Essentially, what you guys realize is that there was far too many left hands for one Monkey King.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Also, you hear a loud thud of something landing in the smoke cloud next to you.
What? Copy of himself for each and every one of us.
How do you respond?
Wait, what was that?
He copied himself.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So yes, there is a copy of Jing Kon that wants to fight each of you. However, not each clone. Spira knows this, that the clones won't be as strong as the original. So
several of his clones are in the darkness,
yes.
which means they cannot see.
No, but they knew sort of roughly where you were from before, so they dove straight
roughly.
at you. The original is still standing outside. He's only moved an inch because of a very large pony headbutting him. However, it is Hyacinth's turn, and she's going to immediately try to apply resonance. Resonance.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so composure plus resolve is +6, so unnat 20. Nice. All right. In that case, we're going to give a plus 10 to all of your rolls. To Solaris. Sorry.
Oh, yes, you're gonna need that.
I definitely do.
You're
Yeah.
going to need that.
Not unless I roll a crit fail again, but yeah.
Get it out of your system. You'll be fine.
Nyx's turn. How do you want to respond?
Oh gosh.
You are still in the cloud. However, the 3 that you kicked back they're also in the cloud.
What's the diameter of the cloud, of the ink cloud?
Yeah, about 3 to 5 meters. So,
So it's about 1/3 of the ring's diameter, the fire ring's diameter.
yeah. Yeah, about that. About 1/3 of it. Yeah.
I guess we should use this darkness as at our advantage, right? There's 3 currently in the cloud with us. Could I try to feel around and attack one?
You've got your swords on you as well. You can, you know, because you kicked them off and you did have that crit success before. I always factor in the previous rolls into the future rolls. Yeah, you can definitely make an attack on one of the clones.
Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attack one of them with one of my swords.
Which one? Are you going to use your special one or your standard one?
I might have to use my special one. Why not?
Yeah,
Against
go for
the
it.
Monkey King, after all.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so that is strength and dexterity +5. No!
Yeah, your sword passes through, but you didn't hit anything. It just went right through.
19. I can't see. It's an excuse.
You still got movement.
I want to move out of the cloud.
Okay, do you want to dash to your right and out? Because Solaris and Hyacinth are to your left, and the clones were in front of you. So you can dash to the
Okay,
right
to the
and
right.
out. Behind you is the ring of fire, so I'm assuming you don't want to dash out of the ring, because that
No.
would... Yeah.
I'm gonna move to the right, out
Okay.
of the cloud.
Okay, you burst out of the cloud, and you see that the Monkey King is still standing there with his hands on his hips, while Spira's primal soul is still pushing desperately against it. Its hooves are digging into the ground, but it's making no more progress after that. Spira is flying ever so slightly higher than when you last saw. You also notice that a 4th clone that tried to jump up at Spira but wasn't able to reach them was the source of that thud and has landed just outside of the mist cloud as well. So there are 4 clones in total plus himself, the main guy. And that will be it.
Wonderful.
That will be it for your turn, which means that it is now Spira again.
Spira gonna be sure that she's not gonna accidentally unalive the Monkey King.
Yes, you can be quite confident in that.
Okay.
Accidentally.
Yeah, well, don't hold back.
Yeah. In that case, she's gonna use her bow and arrow and do a triple shot at him.
Well,
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Not
He
20.
Match 20.
he simply just clicks his neck again, and with each click of his neck, he dodges each arrow.
Oh my god.
All right.
And your however, the 3 arrows do land in the ground behind. One of them lands on the edge of the ring of fire and starts to catch into flames. It is your summon's turn. What would you like your summon to do?
Can communicate with the aura, or
It understands you because you've got it is part of your soul, so it will follow through with whatever instructions that you wish it to do.
you know what? The summon is gonna kind of flare her wing, like mainly to obstruct the Monkey King's view, and then gonna just continue to push, but more like with her side than just straight on.
Okay, so it's going to turn like 90 degrees, bump it out, try to bump the Monkey King while raising the wings to block the view.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, give me an attack. Okay, the Monkey King is shunted back a few more centimeters, but he's like, haha, keep trying. Maybe by sundown I'll finally be out of the ring. Ooh, Sorors, you're up. 3 potential. You have 3 or 4 clones in front of you in the cloud. You can't really tell.
Yeah. How much weaker are they? Can I, or is it even any? I don't know. Maybe.
You can't
Can
tell.
I-
You've only seen the paws.
Yeah. I'm thinking about maybe trying to use my voice because they are really close to me, but I don't know how resistant they are.
I mean, you might as well give it a try. I mean, you can.
Or we can do something more cunning. I'm thinking about somehow involving the Monkey King's son to make him.
What do you plan with Hifa?
Yeah, I'm planning that somehow we should make the Monkey King believe that his son Hifa is in danger, so he will willingly leave the circle of fire. Because they are so cunning. When I was shaking head as a true sportsman, they paralyzed me, so I'm really not.
Yeah, that is worn off, by the way.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes.
No. So I'm just really encouraged to do some dirty tricks.
Okay.
For it.
Yeah, but I'm still in the darkness, so I don't even know which direction Hifa is. So I think maybe I will have to deal with the clones first.
Yeah, you can move first and then choose your main action. So if you want to try and slip out like Nyx did, you can go to the left, or you can go to the right like Nyx, or you can go to the left, which was towards where Spira was.
No, then I will try to slip out of the cloud first.
Okay, which way? Right or left?
I think away from Spira.
Okay,
It's
so
on the right.
on the right with Nyx's side. Okay.
With Nyx, yes.
So as you dive out of the cloud, you see again the Monkey King has only been pushed back a few inches by the very hard-working summon. To be fair, the summon has done the most damage out of everyone.
Yeah.
Right now, you see that the clones are still inside the mist, and there was a 4th clone that had jumped up at Spira. Looks like it was about to dive into the cloud as well to go after you guys. So good job you didn't go left.
Yeah,
was
this is why I didn't. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to go that way. But
Okay, so
So-
you've got your main action now.
first of all, I try to look around. Do I even see Hifa?
Hifa was by the throne in the crowds on the stand, and he was cheering. He was the first one to cheer for you guys when you beat the games before. So you would have known. You know where he is. You can see him there.
Am I this desperate to window Because I can throw a dagger at him and see what
But
happens.
do you really want to?
Well, if my calculations are correct, then the Monkey King wouldn't let me, my dagger to connect with its target.
You really want to do something?
But what if he doesn't notice in time? Because I really don't want to hurt the kid.
I could transform into if you want.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Next turn. Okay, so maybe next turn. But if you transform into Hifa and you leave the circle, it still counts as a loss to us.
True.
And if you are not outside of the ring, then
Should we make it?
Can Hyacinth make an illusion that
If Hyacinth can Hyacinth make an illusory Hifa outside of the real ring?
Yes, I can try.
You can try it. Okay, so we can target the fake Hifa outside of the ring and see how the Monkey King reacts next turn.
Okay, but what are you going to do for your action for this round?
Okay, I think I will try to sing to hypnotize the fake Monkey Kings
Okay.
inside.
Yep, you can use your primal ability, projected psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this case, give me your manipulation and then plus 10 as
And
well from
plus
the resonance.
10 as well because of yeah. Okay. Wish me luck. Huh. Not that bad.
Not bad at all.
No, good.
I just wanted them to be really confused and stay inside the cloud.
Oh yeah, that works. You hear
Maybe attack each other.
Yeah. you hear the sound of scuffling and what sounds like stone hitting stone inside of the thing. So for during his turn, I'm gonna make those clones fight each other.
Okay.
Very nice.
Wonderful. Now the clowns are distracted.
Yep, I'm gonna say it also hit the fourth one. So the fourth one that's outside is also gonna like leap in and start fighting his own.
Oh, nice.
It is his turn. You notice that when you use this ability on the clones, he looks at you, and for the first time, almost since you guys have met, he actually has a serious look on his face, and he's like,
Oh no.
"Oh, so that's what the abyssal can do." Like I said, I've never seen one of your kind before.
Oh no.
Dodge roll. Dodge roll.
Dodge roll.
With strength, dexterity, or
Yes,
or
strength, dexterity, and acrobatics. I'll throw in all of those. Yep. I'll just throw all of them in there.
acrobatics. I
And
don't
plus
have
10.
acrobatics. 17.
I'm just gonna use this one.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Oh no.
Hold on, I gotta do some math. Dexterity is 16, strength 12, 30. 28. You're not immediately sent out of the ring.
Oh my god.
Plus 48 to his roll.
Plus 48?
Okay.
Oh no.
I will say you did really well for your 30. So what ends up happening is you hear.
I use my suction cups.
Yeah. He still hasn't moved. However, his staff flew towards your face. Like his staff was extending. And it shatters your aura. Like you can feel your aura shattering like glass. However, you managed to just barely like throw the side of your body to the side. And it extends almost into the crowd. However, it stops just beforehand. But yeah, your aura just got shattered by it.
Nice.
Now we know that aura can get shattered.
Yeah. And of course, I'm the one to demonstrate it.
However, his clones have got to fight each other. Oh no!
Oh
Wait.
no.
What?
I'm rolling for all the clones. You hear a lot of screaming and shouting and clashing inside of the mist. You hear one of them flying out of the ring and crashing into the side of the stands. Yeah, one of them rolled 2, whereas the others all rolled like 18 and plus. So yeah, one of them definitely got knocked out. The other two also like seriously damaged each other. So all the clones are seriously wounded, and one of them has been knocked out, essentially. The moment it leaves the ring, he dispels it because he's like, well, that one's gone. As it just puffs away.
Nice.
Hyacinth's turn. What was it you wanted me to do again, Sonors?
Can you make a clone of Hifa?
In the cloud, right?
No, outside the fire ring.
So injured.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try. First off, I've got to make them do a roll to maintain the resolve on you. So that
Please do maintain it. I don't have an aura.
Yeah, this is the first time. This is the first time that Tella is going to be trying to dual cast, a primal ability plus a spell cast. So this is going to be fun. So +6.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
And
Oh.
and then for the illusion +6.
Oh no.
Okay.
At least she did the illusion.
Just outside of view, Hyacinth saw that Spira was blocking the Monkey King's view. Since the Monkey King was also focused on Sorors, essentially Hyacinth took the opportunity to create a wounded-looking Hifa on the edge of the ring where the clone had just been sent flying, and essentially making it look like the clone had injured Hifa, and he's lying just outside of the view.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Yeah. Let him feel guilty.
Right. Nyx, you're up. You just saw the shattering of the aura. Like the pieces of the aura are sort of like flying past you and dissolving in the air as they fly past you. Yeah, your eyes are just like, what?
I am horrified.
However, the Monkey King is right there with his back to you.
Ooh. Shall I go for it?
You can.
See, can I try to get him out of the ring?
How do you plan on doing this?
No. I think I should just attack the Monkey King.
Okay.
To provide more distraction, so then when he finally looks over...
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna go.
Yep.
I'm gonna go and attack the Monkey King in his back.
So give your strength dex plus your martial. Okay. So 16. Oh, your sword slashes at his back. He still hasn't moved. However, you do notice that the parts of the skin where your sword was going to slash essentially turns straight to stone, and your sword bounces off of it. However, you also notice at the same time that a silverish trail of spirits is yanked from the stone skin itself, because the stone skin is a concentration of spirits. So as you pull it off, it actually undoes the stone skin effect of that. He looks at it, like he turns to look at his back, and he's like, aren't all of you full of surprises today?
Oh, I'm so glad I used this sword.
Yeah. So your sword, again, has some of the Monkey King's spirits now pulled into it as well. Okay.
Nice.
Up next, Spira. Spira, you have control of your feed, your summon, which is still blocking the view of Hifa, so he still hasn't seen Hifa yet. And his summons, you would know this because of the unique nature of being a centaur, is that his summons won't be sending information back to him like yours. Yours is part of your soul, so you have a deep connection with it, whereas his summons are more like pale copies of himself. So you know that the summons that could have seen this happening wouldn't be able to relay that information anyway.
How long does Sidari's hypnosis thing work?
You did a pretty good roll, especially with the resonance buff on top of that. So the clones are going to be distracted for at least another 2 rounds.
Okay, because I was thinking about moving the ink splotch, the cloud of darkness, towards the Monkey King, but that's gonna obstruct his view, and we kind of don't want that at the moment.
Ah.
Yeah.
So Spira is probably gonna do the same. She's gonna fire off 3 arrows.
Okay.
And we can do that roll first, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So it'll be strength dex plus your archery skill.
15, 17, because it's a triple shot, right?
Yes. Oh, very nice, very nice.
And the summons is gonna lower the wing, kind of spin around on its forelegs, and then kick the Monkey King with his hind legs.
Ooh, okay, give me that roll as well. Let's see if we can get some synergy going here. So yeah, use your strength and dex, and I'll factor in the primal soul aspect of it. So strength, dex plus. Okay. It's trying its best.
It's right.
It desperately turns around, giving another kick, which again moves the Monkey King another like inch back as well. Again, it's making very, very slow but steady progress towards the edge of the fire. However, your arrows, they connect, and I'm going to give this one to you because of the synergy with your summon. One of the arrows hits the spot where Nyx had just torn away the stone skin ability from. And
Nice.
it actually grazes through and causes the Monkey King to bleed. And he's like, huh? What? Because he like looks at you up there and is like, what? Solaris, your turn.
I was thinking about how else he would be able to stop my dagger towards the fake Hifa, and I'm thinking aiming for the fake Hifa's eyes, because even if the Monkey King shrinks my dagger into a needle, it will still make damage. So, I mean,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm evil.
Fighting dirty, I see.
I mean, I'm not evil, but I don't like when they fuck with me. So, yeah. Because if I just aim for another body part and he shrinks down to a needle, my dagger, then it's just a prick on the skin. But if it's in his eyes, he will think it's no good to shrink it down. So his summons are occupied. His stone skin does nothing against my dagger, so he will need to move outside of the ring.
Okay,
Right?
so give me an attack roll. Don't mess this up.
Yeah.
Come on, dice.
Okay, so my attack roll is my martial powers and strength and dexterity, or?
Yes. Strength, dexterity, plus your martial.
Okay, that's
This
17.
won't be very hard because it's a stationary target.
Yeah.
Just don't
That's
crit fail.
17 plus 17. Don't mess this up, guys, please.
Nice.
Yes. Oh no. Jono, it's not fair. You are the most lucky again amongst us.
So
You should make on roll.
what ends up happening is, as you're throwing the dagger towards the fake Hifa, the Monkey King finally realizes, noticing his wounded child on the edge of the ring and the daggers flying towards him. In a brief moment where he was standing, he now appears on the edge of the fire and he grabs your flying daggers mid-flight with the gaps between all of his fingers. So he grabs the daggers that you threw, just and he's like, What are you trying to do to my boy? He throws them right back at you. This is his turn.
Okay, so I have to dodge.
Yes.
So it's just a +7.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay, so 2 of the daggers miss past you because he's absolutely enraged now. He is no smiles at all. He is deadly serious. You notice one of the daggers sort of bounces off of your armor. However, it was imbued, so it is able to sort of deflect it without it piercing through and actually killing you. However, you do notice that it hit your heart.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, you were about to murder his child in front of him. So
His fake child.
he doesn't know this yet.
Yeah.
We distracted him long enough so he wouldn't.
However, it is Hyacinth's turn, and ooh. All of you notice the fake Hifa grabs onto his father's leg and is like, Dad, help.
Can he pull the Monkey King towards himself and outside of the ring?
No, what's happened here is that completely pulled the Monkey King's attention. He's right on the edge of the fire.
This is my chance.
Yes, this is
my
your chance.
chance.
You can
This is my
move the
chance.
ring.
He's completely distracted thanks to Hyacinth's control.
Go, Kitsune.
This is my chance. Come on, dice, please.
Okay, composure and resolve. Add in your arcana as well.
Let's go.
Yes.
As he's looking at his son, Flim, using your hand symbols, you pinch the edges of the flame on the edges of his peripheral vision. Normally he would have noticed, but because he was so distracted by what looked like his dying child's deed of attention, you pull the flames around the back of him so he can't see it, joining them together, causing the ones that he could see to extinguish instantly. He's now outside the ring. Congratulations, you guys beat the Monkey King.
We did it.
We fought 30, but we did it.
Nice one, Kitsune.
Well done. Well done. Well, I have to applaud your ingenuity here. The Monkey King is like, Hifa, what's wrong? Hifa. The illusion of Hifa shimmers and fades out of existence. And the Monkey King looks up and he sees his real son sitting in the crowd, his mouth dropped, and Jing Kon looks back at you and is like, are you kidding me? You also use dream weaving? As he looks at the Fae, and he's like, no, you have my summons, you have my fire, and you have my dream weaving. All of you stole my ability. He stomps his foot on the ground. He's not happy at all. Each of you have a copy of the magic that he uses, which, funnily enough, was coincidental.
So his third one was dream weaving. Oh.
Yes, he also has illusion magic. He was going to use it, but he didn't have a chance. Well, he didn't think he'd need to use it until you guys tricked. So he's just like, wait, what?
Unbelievable. My own abilities against me.
Yeah. He sighs and he's like, well, I don't want to go on janitorial duty, so I guess we're gonna have to take the L on this one, guys. And you see the four Sonwu who lost to you guys before. They take a sigh of relief, just like, oh, okay, even he lost. Okay, he'll go easy on us now. The crowd's not sure whether to celebrate or not, and he's like, fine. And he drops his pole, and he's like, congratulations, our guests are the 4 winners. And the crowd erupts. You see Arista, she stands up and is clapping her hands from where she was seated. She's very happy for you guys, and she's just like, you guys did so well. You used your magic and abilities so well there. Rox is very quiet. He just sort of nods and is just like, that was actually kind of clever. That was clever. That was impressive. Yeah. So, yes, the Monkey King, he's upset, but he's not going to let that spoil the mood. This is a birthday celebration after all. And he's just like, Hifa, come down here. And he's like, okay. And he's like, now, where's your birthday gift? And he takes out the Kilrathi horn staff that was made for him by Loktau. And that technically you guys as a group brought as a gift. And he's like, okay, Hifa, we agreed. One of them would become your brother in arms. So basically an honorary brotherhood is here with Hifa. So one of you can be offered to essentially be known as a sworn sibling of Hifa, honorary child of the Monkey King. Who wants it?
I think it should be Tella because they clicked before. Plus, they can shrink the staff down.
Yes,
Yep, the staff can be
She
shrunk
can
down.
use it.
Yep.
And her illusionary magic was so clutch in
Yes.
Yeah.
some of these challenges.
And if I remember correctly, Tella headbutted in the dodgeball game. Tella took out the last one. So yeah.
Yeah, she's the
Hyacinth,
MVP.
Yeah.
oh no, second MVP. The first MVP is that poor summons. It tried so hard.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was literally the only one who moved the Monkey King.
I so want to watch an anime of this.
Man, last week was Nyx's turn to have the flashback. This week it was Solaris's.
Oh my gosh.
If you weren't being resonated with Hyacinth there, I would have had to have given you an instinct roll.
Could have died there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
That was risky.
But he was also using this because he wanted to study the abyssal as well. So even though this was all under the pretext of a game, he actually was studying how your species and everything works as well. So he was learning because he's never encountered you guys before. So he wants to know for future stuff as well. One more thing, before he really wanted Hifa's staff, but he says he has to turn it down because his staff was a gift. His staff is called Heaven's Pillar, and its ability here is that wild spirits will adjust the weight of the staff based on the user's desire. Expending one's own spirits here is optional. So not only does he use his Sonwu ability to change its size, but the special ability of the staff also changes its weight. So... yeah. Hence
You
why
definitely could have died there.
hence why your aura went pop. Because the Heaven's
It
Pillar.
was basically a nuke.
Yeah, the Heaven's Pillar. And just to put into context, remember, Zenai parried that. And from a
so
sneak
broken.
attack. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the other award. Right. Almost forgot to tell you guys. Remember, I now owe you a favor. Because he promised if you could beat him in this match, he would owe you guys a favor. So, okay, Hyacinth will be given the staff. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So
Then you don't have to use her needle anymore. She can use the staff.
Hyacinth is has now got the needle and the staff on her belt. This tiny little Kilrathi horn, which is incredibly sharp, which basically has turned Hyacinth into the most deadly assassin in the group now. Because she's a moth, so she's actually like designed for flight at night as well. So you've basically got a little murder moth over here now. Oh yeah, also the spirits remain in your sword, by the way, from that.
Oh, nice. I got Monkey King spirits.
The Monkey King also approaches Spira and offers a handshake to you.
Okay, I'm gonna take the handshake.
And he's like, I'm impressed.
Bad idea.
Spira hesitated for a slight second, but kind of just, okay, let's go for this.
He's like, I'm impressed. It has been a long time since anyone's drawn blood from me. I was not expecting that today at all. Well done. He's complimenting all of you, but he's offering a handshake to Spira because Spira was the one that actually drew the blood, even though it was Nyx's sword that removed the stone skin from that patch. He's like, I really do hope that stone skin comes back though. That would be kind of awkward.
Oh.
It will be his Achilles' heel from now on.
That would be very awkward. But but yeah, you guys will resume the celebrations. It's a great party. Things are going well, and it is the last day of the celebrations. Jing Kon says, I will take you to the unicorns now. It is overdue. I've been keeping you guys for too long. It's too much fun though. Way too much fun. You guys will promise you have to visit again, okay? Especially you, as he points towards Hyacinth and is like, you're now my daughter. Honorary daughter. Della's gonna be like, I'm what? When we...
Yeah.
I'm the daughter of the
She will
Monkey
know
King.
that's so
I have a
confused.
Kiratis. She's gonna be so confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I want to see her reaction. Yo.
Is there anything you guys would like to do while at this party before you head out to go to the secret grove where the unicorns are being kept?
Yeah, I think I will just go into a secluded area to do my thing.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything? You've got Arista there as well, so if you guys want any advice on your spell casting or anything like that, she's there to also like provide some support as well.
I'll go to Arista to talk more about how to use wild spirits in my fire element, my casting abilities.
Okay. So she's like, okay, so remember, it's a casting time magic essentially involves issuing a command to the wild spirits that exist within the element. So within that Monkey King's fire, essentially you're using your hand gestures to signal to them to manipulate their direction and size and everything. So with greater practice and control, you'll be able to guide and direct them. And as you notice, even when it's other people's magic, it is still considered wild spirits. So if you encounter someone who uses fire, even as their base ability, such as Rox here, then Rox is like, I wouldn't. He's like, but if Rox did want to use his fire on you, you could potentially redirect them. However, it becomes a battle of wills in that case. Whose control over the spirits, their innate spirits or your control over wild spirits? Normally, a user would have the edge when it comes to their own, but with enough training, you might be able to overwhelm them. Basically, there's a reason why the kitsune their casting system tends to be all around fire because of the Azure fire of the tails, right? So being able to manipulate your enemy's fireball is kind of useful in combat.
That's why I chose fire.
Yeah, good call. Because even when you use your own fire, you'll still be able to manipulate it after you've used it. So, yeah. Spira, is there anything you'd like to do?
Anxious about actually injuring someone she really kind of didn't want to injure.
You could offer to treat the Monkey King if you want.
Yeah, she's offering to treat him.
Oh, that would be a great help. You know, it's really hard to scratch my back from this angle. As he's trying to reach with his arms from where your arrow hit him right in the back. So, yeah, give me an apothecary roll. It's just a light scratch, so it won't be anything bad. But
do I add some mental stuff as well, or is it just a +10?
You can add in your intelligence and wit. Very nice. Yep, you disinfect it in such a way that it doesn't sting or hurt him in any way, and you treat the scratch pretty well, and you patch him right up. And he's like, "Oh, barely felt anything. Well done. You've been trained very well. I'm impressed."
Thank you. I had a good teacher.
What was his name?
Dr. Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. Very interesting indeed. So yeah, essentially everybody gets along. The Monkey King doesn't have too much grudge. He's already admitted defeat here. He's impressed. He mentions about how Zanaya's trained you guys very, very well. Kind of terrifying, especially if you guys reach her level. Then I would be fear for the world. If there were 5 more of her. So yeah, he's impressed. It's also he wouldn't have tried to have killed you guys, except for that brief moment where he thought you'd murdered his son. That was the only time he actually legitimately tried to kill you, because, well, I can't blame him for that one.
Yeah.
That was risky.
It was. But other than that, I don't know how else we could defeat him.
It worked. It repositioned him. The poor summons was repositioning him very slowly. It would have taken about 20 turns before he left the ring.
Yeah, inch by inch.
Hardest working summons.
Yes. So that's where we're going to call it for today then. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
The next episode should be right here. Thanks for watching.